I saw an angel and this is a miracle. That was not my first thought. My first thought as a nurse was, oh my God, this is the biggest rally I've ever seen. I've never seen someone rally this big, right? She's gonna die any day now. So of course, I feel like it's an obligation for me to tell the children, like, don't get your hopes up. I think she's gonna die soon. And I do say that in so many words because I want them to expect that, because that's what I thought was happening. But I was wrong. She did not die. She lived and lived well for the next 3 months, which for many people might not feel like that's a long time, but that's a very long time for someone who was actively dying. She was blue, like her brain was not oxygenating. Like there's no way you can biologically, scientifically come back from that. Meaning like there's no scientific reason for her to be able to come back from that. To me, that's a miracle. To me, she was a walking miracle. I could not believe what I was seeing. And then she lived well for another 3 months before she died very peacefully on hospice. So as I was leaving that visit, it popped into my head again about what I saw the night before and how I was so quickly able to push it out of my head and go, that didn't happen. I didn't actually see that. But once I saw her, living, and then I started thinking about, that is crazy. I did see that crazy image, right? And then a few days later when she wasn't dying and then she ends up living and living well, more and more I started being like, Julie, you know what you saw. And really, I didn't really know what I saw. I didn't know that angels would look like that, but that's what it felt like. It felt like, well, maybe this was her guardian angel. I don't know. And I never told anybody about that for years because I was too scared. The more and more I educate, the more and more I talk about this stuff, I just think it's important. I don't always have the answers. I don't really know if I saw an angel. I guess I'll never know, right? I feel like I did. I feel like I witnessed a miracle by her living. And then it's hard for me to say that without acknowledging the fact that before I left her room that night, something gave me an image in my mind of a being standing over her that gave me a message of, this is mine, she is mine, with a feeling of like power and strength and care. Yeah, I've come to the conclusion now that I think I saw an angel. And maybe there's different kinds of angels. Maybe some angels look like that. Some angels look like something else. I don't know. This has never happened to me since. Right? But I always like to share that because I think it's a fascinating story. I think it's a fascinating part of end of life. I've had other patients who have said they see angels, right? I've heard many stories of people saying they have seen angels. So I think it's just important to at least discuss it. So with that, do you think angels are real?